Greetings and salutations, one and all. Welcome to the night shift. It's the last of the night shift for the week. It's a night we do a thing we call real talk. And you ready to have some real talk? The show is otherwise known as Marlon's favorite show, or Marlon's favorite night shift show. I want to say big ups to everybody locked in right now. Those on TuneIn Radio, the night shift to DJ Kevin Stew, Rockthebox.net, the Foundation Radio Network, One Harmony Radio. Top of the morning to you guys over there in the UK. I want to say big ups to those tuning in on PEMG TV, and of course right here at the home of the night shift, kevinstew.com. Marlon closed off his Real Rockers with one Natisha stream. I'm starting with another. This is Natisha stream working out with Busy Signal. Hello 942. She rotate the waistline and pussy. Youngster she wants, she no want not a damn sissy. She sniff me out when me spray on the issy. Now left me side, she stick on palm me like Vicky. And me alone she give the secret in the Vicky. She knows I'm on a hot end, and if you treat it I go stick it. I don't wanna wait for love. I don't want nobody else but you. You make me feel so good. I wanna give you my love. I wanna give you this feeling. Now she catch asthma. Turn to this height, let me give you that sitting down where you ask for. So lie down, baby. Me love how you wine on, baby. If a bedroom work, me response for. You're the 2 million a punch, me roots of his sponsor. I'm gonna give you my love, cause you treat me right. You stick by you like Sheba, like King Solomon's son. Gonna give you my all. Happy hump day night to you too, Julie. I want to say thanks to Pulse Media Group for sponsoring this segment of the show. When being in the moment is priceless, give them a call, 754-999-6020, or visit them at pulseemg.com. What can they do for you? They can make your moment, whatever that moment is, live. Live where? Live anywhere. You can stream your events. All you need is the internet and a computer, and you're good to go. Because you'd have a camera. So you have that combination, a camera, computer, internet. You can stream anywhere in the world, live and secure. Call Pulse Media and ask them how to do it. Tell them you heard Kevin Stew with it. So it feels so good when you touch. And because the feeling feels so good, you kind of remember that feeling. But let's say the touch gets taken away. What happens then? How do you feel at that point?
Or you feel good when you get a compliment, but then the compliments stop coming, and as a matter of fact, the compliments change, and it doesn't quite sound like a compliment anymore, and it sounds more like an insult. How you feel then? Does it still feel good? How about just remembering that thing, whatever it was, and you decide, boy, you know what? I'm going to hold on to this feeling. You're going to hold on to that feeling. Why? You ever wonder why it is you hold on to things? Especially the things that hurt. You ever notice that? Those are the things that you really hold on to. I think I lost one of my guests. I don't know. Yeah. By the way, those of you tuned in on TuneIn Radio or anywhere else and you want to be a part of the interactive group, come on in, jump into the stew pot. The water is always great. Where do you find the stew pot? kevinstew.com. It's what we call, or well, what others would call a chat room. We call it the stew pot. And of course, you can get in touch by giving me a ring-a-ling on the ding-a-ling. 773-789-STEW, 773-789-7839, or you can text, same number. But, we like the interaction. So, join us in the stew pot, or give us a call. I want to hear from you. Alright, so, what would be the reason someone... Actually, before we get to the holding on to the pain, what would be the reason why someone would feel hurt in the first place? Well, simply because somebody said something that was hurtful. That would be the logical answer, right? Here's the thing. What about when the feelings got took? Who took them? Here's the thing. Feelings, being hurt. You ever stop to think, wait a minute, why am I hurt? So we know the feeling, the one of being punched in the gut by a 100-pound gorilla. You know that feeling? Where you feel queasy and tremulous and just emotional. The mouth quivers. You have the heaving chest, and this is not heaving out of excitement. Your eyes water, and it's not because you're cutting up onions. Your heart feel like it's going to burst out your chest, and it's not out of excitement. And then the sky rains tears, and you feel like you're going to be drowning in pain. That feeling. Age took them. That feeling. We all know that feeling. There's a common trigger to that feeling. And often it is because someone said something to us. Either they insulted us, or they rejected us, or they judged us. Maybe we got ignored, or there was a difference in opinion. It is usually someone that we interact with often, a friend, a spouse, a parent, a child, a boss, a colleague. And 9 out of 10 times, that is the reason that we have emotional pain. And that is the reason we have emotional drama. So, according to Dr. Shefali, there's an equation, and the equation is automatic. Someone does something hurtful, we feel hurt. And you must be really empathetic, 942. What we don't realize is the equation of someone says or does something hurtful and we feel hurt is a made-up equation. It's a constructed and false equation. While it seems natural, it's actually quite unnatural. Hmm? Yeah. Go ahead, raise your eyebrows. I don't mind. And the confusion is okay. So here's how it develops. We've been raised to value the opinions of others and have been dependent on how we are viewed by them. And this is a natural outgrowth of growing up in a family surrounded by adults and authority figures. What could be detrimental about this, you may ask? Well, isn't it almost necessary to develop into productive members of society? How will we know how to be if we weren't given the instructions and guidance of our caregivers? And these are legit questions to ask. But unfortunately, because the people we're asking or the people that we're getting these instructions and directions from pretty much grew up the same way that they're teaching us to grow up, we're growing up with the same false equation. Let's stick to that. Most of us grew up with little attention paid to our own inner relationship. While we are taught to place value on the opinion of others, we are taught to ignore the power of self-appraisal, self-authority, and self-awareness. The reality is this. Few of us were raised to honor who we authentically are. Most of us were raised to honor what others thought of us over our own opinions of ourselves. Most of us. We were simply conditioned to fall into line with the status quo and go with the crowds. But let me tell you this. If you find yourself going with the majority, then you just may be going in the wrong direction. I'm just saying. Our sense of self depends on the image others have of us. Therefore, when someone we hold in esteem judges or rejects us, then we feel hurt. We automatically enter into a pattern of reacting with equal hurt and pain. Either we wallow in it, or we dump it back onto them or some other unsuspecting victim. Because hurt people hurt people. If you haven't learned that yet, wait, you will. But the reason another's opinion of us is false is because no one can ever really know us. They can only know us from their experience and their point of view. And this opinion is always layered with bias. So, how true is it? Never thought about that part, did you? Well, the reason we automatically feel hurt is this. We believe the other person's voice to be the truth about who we are. The idea of us and way of treating us supersedes our own beliefs about ourselves. When this happens now, our hearts lay wide open to receive the unconsciousness of others. It is because we believe in what others are saying as if that were the truth that we feel the pain that goes with it. Some of us were raised to think that if we put ourselves first, we're being selfish, as if that's a bad thing. Listen, if you had caught the show that I did on self-love, you would have heard my opinion on being selfish. That it's not necessarily a bad thing. In fact, being selfish is a good thing because in order to love someone else, you have to learn to love yourself first. And that seems to be the problem that most of us are having. We are loving others the way that we think that they should be loved. And we're ignoring how to love ourselves. And with that comes this that we're talking about tonight. So you're right. A lot of us were raised to think as if putting ourselves first is not a good thing. But it's like I heard someone use the analogy of being on an airplane and traveling with a minor or a senior or someone that needs help. If the oxygen bag drops from the ceiling, you're advised as the able-bodied caregiver to put your mask on first. Because if you pass out, who's going to help that person that is traveling with you that needs help? So you have to take care of yourself first in order to take care of someone else. Just yesterday I was having a conversation with someone that used to be a personal bodyguard. And they said their whole idea of how they did their job changed when they realized, wait a minute, if I die, how am I going to protect the person I'm hired to protect? So my protecting them depends on my self-preservation. You see how it works? Cool. All right, so what if we believed that the whole idea of whatever someone else is saying about us is a lie? What if we understood that our deepest self is essentially always pure and worthy? That's another thing. We don't think that we're worthy. We're more than worthy. And this is no matter what anybody else might say about us. That is their opinion. The only person with you 24/7 is you. So, what if we understood that it is no one's job to understand or know or approve of us but ourselves? What if we simply realize that while everyone has their right to their opinion, and it includes their opinion about us, that it has nothing to do with us, and it really has to do with them, their history, their feelings, their heart, their level of consciousness. What about that? What if, instead of automatically feeling hurt, we felt indifferent? We felt neutral. We felt nothing. What then? What if we gave ourselves the permission to just not react? What would our life look like at that point? Would it look too detached for comfort? Too drama-free? Would you seem cold and callous because you're not reacting to whatever is being directed at you? That's a thought. Someone said to their therapist, I didn't know I had a choice. I thought I had to react when someone said something hurtful. And their therapist was determined to prove them wrong. And let them know that, listen, what the other person thought about you really had nothing to do with you. And it was a life-changing experience for the client. So let's start out some real-life examples here. What if your partner, those who are in Eros-type relationships, what if your partner said something to the tune of, you're a horrible partner, and you're pretty useless. Those are some hurtful words, right? How about instead of reacting in a way that you would be lashing out and hitting back, you took the approach where you would say something along the lines of, I see you feel strongly about this. And, you know, you have a right to your opinion. I see things differently, however. So when you're ready to hear my side, we can discuss it. Until then, I'm sorry that you're in pain. And we'll talk about it when you're more approachable. What if you said something along that line and then just walked away? You probably might want to walk away in a way that you're not really turning your back fully, because they might throw something at you. But just leave them be at that point. And then instead of wallowing in a story about them, you understand that they're caught up in waves of their own past, in tides of their own reactivity and the currents of their own hurt. And that is the reason that they chose to make you the cause of their pain. So they're in pain and you're the scapegoat, as a spouse. How about if your teenager said something to the tune of, you're so annoying, please leave me alone? Instead of reacting in a rude and angry way right back, you said, I see you're choosing to be unkind and a little bit hurtful right now. Guess what? I love myself dearly, and I choose not to participate in any negative behavior toward me. So I'm going to remove myself from this dynamic. And once you're back in a kind state, we can resume our conversation. Now, the first part of that is that it's going to diffuse them completely, because that's not the kind of reaction that they would probably expect. But it teaches our children that they have a choice in how they perceive another's hurtful behavior. And it helps them to find the right path of action for themselves. They don't have to indulge in this lashing out, this fighting back, this aggression. We don't. What if you have a best friend and they said something like, you are a bad friend and you are wrong in how you act? Instead of taking it personally, either find a way to be curious about their opinion and simply say something along the line of, I'm sorry you feel this way, but I don't believe these are things about myself. We can either choose to disagree or take a breather from each other until things feel a little better for both of us. So again, by detangling our emotional reactivity, we give ourselves and the other person the space to discover new ways of being and relating. So instead of putting our opinion against theirs, we open the space for the other person to take accountability. Accountability for their own actions and feelings, while we take the same of our own. So it doesn't mean that you allow yourself to be walked all over, but not being slaves to another person's opinion. We don't give them the privilege of our heart and feelings. Once we are detached enough from our emotional charge, we can make clear-headed decisions about what the best path is for us. We simply cannot make a wise decision in the heat of an emotional struggle. It just does not work. We've been conditioned to defend ourselves when we feel like we're being attacked, even if it's with words and not physical attacks. Yes, that is true. We have been conditioned to do it. So if we're conditioned to act a certain way, then we can change that. It is left up to us to make a change. When we're able to anchor ourselves in our own self-belief, authority, and governorship, holding no one accountable or responsible for our inner state, we not only relinquish the other from the impossible task of understanding us, but we free ourselves in the process. You understand what is going on here? Freeing yourself. We all want to be free, but yet still we're bound in this emotional struggle. Listen. Choosing to believe someone is a choice. So if you choose to believe what their opinion is of you, then that is your choice. But you can say, I don't believe you. You can say, I don't agree with your opinion of me at this point. It's fine to do so. And in doing so, it doesn't mean that whomever it is a bad person. No. It just means that you don't agree on this at that particular time. And it means you hold yourself to your own standards and measure yourself according to your own yardstick, not someone else's. When we stop seeking the approval or understanding from others, we then become able to give unconditionally and to give fully. So when we become free, then we don't get hurt. You see how that works? So this is where the hurt comes from. The hurt comes from believing others' opinions of ourselves. It comes from not recognizing self, not being aware of self. So that is a start. But we still have to deal with the issue because we have been conditioned our whole lives to believe this way. We still have to deal with the fact that we're holding on to things that hurt us. So, how then do we address that? $1 million question. And I wish somebody would give me $1 million to answer it. But until then, well, we just have to do things a different way. We're going to take a quick little break. And when we come back, we talk some more. Call a friend, tell a friend. It's a night shift. Real Talk Wednesdays. Or otherwise known as Marlon's favorite show. Marlon's favorite night shift show. My bad. We'll be back after these few messages.
Pulsey Media Group, innovative streaming and recording, has done it again. A new way to get your business in full view of your neighborhood consumer through AdShare TV. It's available in your neighborhood today. It's easy. Just call us 754-999-6020. Become a host today and place a TV monitor in a strategic location so it's easy to see. Get a 1-minute video ad or longer that plays anywhere in our network. Can't be a host? No problem. For a few dollars, we'll run your 30-second video ad. A host can run announcement specials like buy one get one free or discount ads. Let's turn your flyers into a 30-second video with music or a voiceover, or let us create and run your video ad with a spokesperson. Take advantage of our early enrollment discount. Join us today. Your ad will be seen at least 30 times per day in your AdShare TV neighborhood. It's easy. Just call us 754-999-6020. AdShare TV, part of Pulsey Media Group.
Are you crazy about the music industry? You aspire to hit it big in music? Or maybe you've sweated out a soulful killer beat and are now stuck finding it's not as easy as it looked. Oh, but it can be easy for you with JTMC. We've been there. We know how it feels. So we solve challenges like production, promotion, marketing, branding and development, and more. With over 30 years of experience, JTMC is a one-stop shop for artists. We handle your graphic design, writing services, PR, as well as event planning, e-blasts, artist management, and bookings, so also your website and social media needs as well. We're experts in using creativity to persuade audiences on behalf of artists, drawing on our diverse experience to create projects that connect with audiences intellectually and emotionally. Artist success is everything to us, and our years of experience and commitment will be behind you for every one of your needs. If you've got music for the world to hear, whether you're a new or established artist, visit us at jtmcenterprise.com.
Matthew 28:19 says, "Go ye therefore and teach all nations." With this in mind, and encouragement received during a South Florida media conference, The Church Links was birthed. The Church Links is an interdenominational worship service portal for churches, providing the tools to spread the word through technology in a cost-effective way. The Church Links, www.dahchurchlinx.com. Your links to worship and praise.
Today in school, I learned a lot. In chemistry, I learned that no one likes me. In English, I learned that I'm disgusting. And in physics, I learned that I'm a loser.
Today in school, I learned that I'm ugly and useless. And in gym, I learned that I'm pathetic and a joke. In history, I learned that I'm trash.
Today in school, I learned that I have no friends. In English, I learned that I make people sick. And at lunch, I learned that I sit on my own because I smell. In chemistry, I learned that no one likes me.
In biology, I learned that I'm fat and stupid. And in math, I learned that I'm trash.
The only thing I didn't learn in school today
The only thing I didn't learn today
The only thing I didn't learn
is why no one ever helps.
Kids witness bullying every day. They want to help, but they don't know how. Teach them how to stop bullying and be more than a bystander at stopbullying.gov. A message from the Ad Council.
Hey, I'm representing for DJ Kevin's Jew, working on the night shift radio show. Won't go changing like the weather, just to please the devil never. Will DJ Kevin's Jew sell his soul? That's a word and honor. It's Christine to representing word and honor. Selassie DJ Kevin's Jew.
Hey baby, I just want to get close to you.
Sunshine, moonlight, delight. Just a couple words describing who you are. Lovely, so lovely. Whatever you wanna know, why I'm in love with you. Patient.
welcome you guys back to the show. In the background, Jonah Marie, Peter G, their rendition of Close to You. I want to say thanks to GMAC Music Solutions for sponsoring this segment of the show. For musical equipment, DJs, bands, singers, audio engineers, stage production services, give them a call. 754-307-4622 or the short way, 754-307-GMAC. You can also visit them at GMAC Solutions, GMACmusicsolutions.com. And while we're at it, if you want to advertise on the night shift, space is available. Go ahead and give us a call, 773-789-STEW. That's 773-789-7839. You can also advertise on the website, kevinstew.com. So give us a call. Let's talk about it. Yeah? Cool. All right, so we're talking about letting go of past hurt. And in order to do that, we had to establish what it was that caused us hurt. And that is what we did in the first segment. So if you missed it, I'm sorry. But there's also the archives. You can go back and check it out. And you can share it with your friends. In fact, you can share this with your friends and anywhere else that you choose to. You can hover over the video, or if you're using a handheld device, you can tap on the video and it brings up the options to share. So you can share to social media, you can send a link, just share as you so choose, as you see fit. So, hurt. How do we deal with it? How do we let go of it? How do we stop holding on to it? Steve Maraboli said, renew, release, let go. Yesterday is gone. There's nothing you can do to bring it back. You can't should have done something. You can only do something. Renew yourself, release that attachment. Today is a new day. Imagine yourself without the disorganized thoughts playing inside your head. Imagine a state of peaceful thoughts, which come and go like ocean tides, without struggle, pain, or resistance. Now exhale. Are you holding on to painful memories which you find difficult to let go of? Most of us are. Many people remain unconscious to these memories until they're overwhelmed by them. Holding on to pain may be akin to clutching hot coal, wishing that you don't get burnt. Each time a painful memory is recalled, it is brought to life by inviting the past into the present. That moment when you're going through the day, when for no apparent reason you are drawn into a bad mood. Mood swings represent the unconscious self recalling past memories. Why not daily renewal? What's wrong with daily renewal? What's wrong with renewal several times a day? Remember, we're conditioned to believe what others think about us. That is what caused our hurt. But we also hold on to that hurt. And a part of the reason we hold on to it is because we somehow feel empowered by it. We feel that it's something to own. When we last expected, negative emotions like anger, frustration, anxiety, and sadness tend to show up. And for some people, holding on to pain signifies a badge of honor. It identifies them as one who has been victimized. They wear their badge to mark their identity and as a means to justify their victimhood. So, life isn't that simple? Who says? Who determines how simple your life is? In order to harness the richness of life, we must be willing to let go of our pain. We must drop the story that accompanies the pain. And this begins with a desire to release the pain and suffering in order to allow the new, fresh, and expansive energy of life to permeate through our being. So by no means does it mean that it underscores the gravity of what occurred in the past. You are choosing not to carry the burden of the pain into the present moment and further on into the future. When we identify with our pain, we view the world through a distorted lens. Those fleeting moments of joy and happiness are lost to a mind which has spent years of drawing on painful memories. You may have come across people who carry their victimhood with them. The ones that are said to be carrying this baggage. And maybe that's something else we need to look into. So they use any opportunity to go to war with others when life does not play their tune. And you may see a lot of that when you're out shopping. While standing in line, you notice that there may be only one checkout operator processing customer purchases. The checkout operator grows increasingly distressed at the growing line of people standing there and is unable to go any faster. And a person standing in line quickly also grows impatient for being made to wait more than necessary. And what happens? They incite tension. Because now they're rallying those who can identify with their plight. That's an all too common experience. We all have it. You're sitting in traffic, one person starts blowing their horn, and then you hear a whole bunch of people start blowing their horn. For what? Nobody knows. This shows how minor situations can derail us and cause mental and emotional unrest. When we think we have been hurt by someone in the past, we build up defenses to protect ourselves from being hurt in the future. So the fearful past causes a fearful future, and the past and future then becomes one. And we cannot love when we fear. When we release the fearful past and forgive, we will experience total love and oneness. You'd have to take my word for it. Gerald G. Jampolowski was the one that said it. Not my words. But it makes sense. Do you think that we can hold on to pain and past hurts because we think we deserve it? Based on something we may have done? I believe we're conditioned to do that. Because we haven't forgiven ourselves. So what we do is beat upon ourselves. We continuously punish ourselves and hope that the other person will see that we're punishing ourselves to the point where I guess we're forgiven. or we're accepted. But it is not for them to really forgive us to that point. Yes, we may have done something to them that requires them to forgive us. But we also need to forgive ourselves. So yes, I believe we can hold on to pain because we think we deserve it. But do we really? It takes a great deal of energy to keep the past alive. The mental and emotional resources required could be better spent on other rewarding life experiences. Over time, if left untreated, painful memories have the capacity to transform into psychosomatic illnesses. Mental health professionals believe it takes approximately 1.5 minutes for the body to process an emotion. Knowing this, we don't need to hold on to mental and emotional pain from the past, nor do we need to carry it with us into the future. You bet it isn't that easy to live in a perfect mindset. No, it isn't easy to live in a perfect mindset without reconditioning that mindset. Again, we are conditioned in a certain way. And it's I believe only a minor few that have even recognized that they need to make a change. I have recognized it for myself, so I can speak on it. And I do. Right, holding on to past hurts serves no one. No purpose. It doesn't help. But yet still we beat ourselves up about it because it's a badge of honor. Says who? Why does it have to be? 773-789 Stu gets you in touch. 773-789-7839. Talk to me. I don't mind. Talk to me. Simply dealing with the emotion as it arises allows us to move through the emotion to move through the body in a short amount of time and without the long-term physiological effects. Oftentimes, people hold on to their pain for so long that it forms a safety blanket. A quite false safety blanket at that. They would feel lost without the pain and suffering. They would have to go without having a story to tell. And perhaps others might find them uninteresting because there's no drama. So then they start asking the question, so if I don't have this story, then who would I be? Bad things happen to good people every day. They have happened to good people all throughout history. One needs only to look to the concentration camps in Nazi Germany during the war to see the devastation it had on the lives of so many innocent people. And despite the brutality, one man emerged in his personal statement against his aggressors, Viktor Frankl. And his quotes highlight our power to transform external life's events into meaningful personal victories. He reminds us everything can be taken from a man but one thing: the last human freedoms. The freedom to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances. To choose one's own way. I often say you end up with a message after your mess has aged. Nobody can take your mess from you. It's your mess. And when it has aged, learn from it. But you don't have to drag it along. You don't have to relive it all the time. In order to release your pain, make an inner declaration to choose peace. Choose happiness. Choose freedom. Even if you don't know how to do it, once you take on this affirmation, the healing process has already begun, and your unconscious mind will naturally move towards a state of peacefulness throughout your thoughts. Because guess what? You owe it to yourself. But not only to yourself, you owe it to the people that love you and the ones that you love, to release yourself from the mental prison that has you captive. And when you start doing that, then life is a whole lot richer. It's richer for you, and it's richer for those that share your life with you. Alexander Graham Bell said, "When one door closes, another opens." But we often look so long and so regretfully upon the closed door that we do not see the ones that open before us. Victims hardly ever heal. They simply carry the wounded victim title around, showcasing it to people who will listen to their plight. It makes them feel acknowledged, that they have suffered an indignity. Do you want to walk around with being known as a victim? Holding on to that pain eventually causes stress that builds to high blood pressure, heart disease, diabetes, and that's only the tip of the iceberg. Yes, that is only the tip of the iceberg, because our emotions can affect our physical health. Why do you think happy people live longer? Seriously, think about it. Unless it's unnatural causes, people who are generally happy live longer. So if you continue to feed and perpetuate the story, your mind naturally becomes accustomed to it by buying into it, that story of being a victim. And surprise, surprise, it also works in the opposite way. So if you are telling yourselves words of affirmations, what do you think is going to happen? Anything repeated often enough with emotional intensity has a power to transform the subconscious mind and thus bring life to that thought. So, you constantly telling yourself, you know what? I am not going to get upset because this person has formed an opinion of me based on something that is not true. What do you think is going to happen? They're going to be left with their opinion to themselves, and they're going to be upset by themselves with themselves. How does that make you feel bad? How does that make you feel hurt? The mind thrives on creating a storyline to substantiate whatever it sees or experiences. Yet awareness has the experience well before the mind has had time to create a thought to validate it. There's a book, Simply Notice. Clear Awareness is the Key to Happiness, Love, and Freedom by Peter Francis Zuban. And in the book, it reinforces the idea of the mind seeking to add commentary to your life's experiences. Before something can clearly be seen or perceived for what it is, thinking is already adding judgments and commentary. So it acts like a smokescreen. Therefore, if you constantly create a narrative around your emotional experiences, the mind creates a smokescreen, as the author suggests, to conceal what is really taking place beneath the surface. And in time, the real self becomes obscured by this screen, since you have brought it into a false facade instead of the real story of your authenticity. So to create a new and more empowering future, it requires that you create a space in your life to heal the past and release the pain. And in order to release the pain, you must be willing to engage some attributes towards carving out a path towards inner peace and freedom. Someone says, I am 16 years over the maximum. They said, I try to stay positive and happy. When you say you're 16 years over the maximum that they said you have, what do you mean? So let's look at some attributes that we're gonna try to, in order to create this inner peace and freedom. The first is commitment. Leo Bascaglia said, let go. Why do you cling to pain? There is nothing you can do about the wrongs of yesterday. It is not yours to judge. Why hold on to the very thing which keeps you from hope and love? A person who has undergone mental and emotional trauma may find it difficult to let go of their suffering. They protect themselves by erecting an emotional barrier which distances them from having to feel the emotions again or relive the mental anguish of the pain. Unfortunately, the mind becomes astute at creating a barrier that in time it becomes impenetrable to deal with the emotional wounds. Your commitment to healing the past by letting go of those wounds is the first step to reconciling with the past. The commitment then heralds the process of facing the past by bringing unresolved issues to the surface in order for them to heal. The challenge posed with honoring this commitment arises when confronting the pain, since this now can be overwhelming. But it's only overwhelming at first. We must take refuge that to heal the past, we must be willing to push through the pain. And since the pain is where personal growth and healing resides, do you have much of a choice? Without it, we continue to conceal the pain by using whatever means to keep us from facing the past. And this means resorting to stimulants or unconducive behavior, which acts to distract us from the real issue. Once you make the commitment, trust that your healing process has already begun through your willingness to face the past. We should remember that an opinion is not fact, yes. But here's the deal, or here's the thing. We need to remember that what we're being told is just that, an opinion. It is the opinion that is formed by someone else that causes us this hurt. So, why would you want to make that fact? Oh, so the 16 years is that you're beyond is life expectancy. So, okay, that is someone else's expectancy. You have gone 16 years past that, which means whose expectancy are you living right now? Yours, right? So you have a right to be happy and optimistic. Claim it. I say claim it. Paulo Coelho says, I don't regret difficulties I experienced. I think they helped me to become the person I am today. I feel the way a warrior must feel after years of training. He doesn't remember the details of everything he learned, but he knows how to strike when the time is right. So the second affirmation is to acknowledge the pain. Masking the pain may work for a short time, but it doesn't address the underlying issue. It would be akin to applying Band-Aid to a gushing wound, hoping the blood would stop. That's not how it works. The deep wound may require stitches and further medical care in order to properly heal. Acknowledging the pain invites you to feel the emotions connected to the pain rather than stuff them down and hope that they will go away. Remember this. What you resist persists. What you resist persists. The energy expended towards stuffing down unwanted emotions far exceeds the energy that is required to heal the emotion. Resistance is a stone wall which overshadows our best interest to thrive and prosper. We resist how life should unfold. And since we're caught up in a mental and emotional battle to make sense of reality, that is where we rest. So, what about the other way? What if you didn't have to carry the scars of the past? What if instead of waging battle against the currents of life, you simply just jumped on a surfboard and rode the wave? Neil Donald Walsh, in his book When Everything Changes, Change Everything, offers the wisdom that life is our soul's calling towards its own self-discovery. Those outward events serve not to punish us, but to reveal your deepest wisdom. Untoward events and circumstances do not need to happen to you. Dealing with discomfort and pain may be confronting. Although life is cyclical and everything must come to an end, even pain. Therefore, instead of running away from your emotions, just lean into them by experiencing them fully. And this now will transform your fear, your anxiety, your anger. And with that, let go of what you believe life owes you and step into your challenges. Rise to them. Armed with courage and compassionate heart, maintain your confidence that you have presented. Show that you have the experience from which to personally evolve. Unfortunately, some people hold on to past hurts as a way of trying to hurt others. Yes, hurt people hurts people. So it's either they're going to hold on to it in order to lash out against, or they're going to hold on to it to show that they have been through something and they're a victim and it's a badge of honor. What's it gonna be? Seven minutes after that, we're gonna take another quick little break. And we'll come back. We're gonna look at a couple more affirmations before we get into our musical therapy. We're talking about how to let go of past hurts. Do you have a method which works for you? Share it. Hit me up. Call me. 773-789-STEW. 773-789-7839. Call me. Shoot me a text. Or jump into the stew pot on kevinstew.com and share what works for you there. Because it may be helpful to one of us, if not all of us. You never know until you share it. So go ahead and share it. We'll be back after these few messages.
Roll out with Island Rock Music and have fun. Check out the quality apparel at islandrockmusic.com. Designed for you and your crew. Hear the music, feel the breeze, with selected tracks and more. Available now from the online store at islandrockmusic.com. islandrockmusic.com. Log on today and ride with us.
Stepping, these are roots vibrations. Stepping.
When being in the moment is priceless, consider the ability to share that moment. If you can video it, you can broadcast it. And Pulse E-Media Group has the tools you need. Weddings, birthdays, funerals, graduations, church services, parties, seminars, you name it. Pulse E-Media Group can provide you with a secure medium controlled by you to broadcast your event. Contact us at www.pulseemediagroup.com for more information. Pulse E-Media Group, when being in the moment is priceless.
JTMC Music presents the highly anticipated, much talked about, the Juggling Rhythm Volume 1. This classic rhythm takes on a new life with tracks from both established artists and introduces some incredible new voices. Get your dancing shoes ready with the Juggling Rhythm, featuring international reggae dancehall artist Mr. Vegas, alongside Ian Sweetness, Ed Robinson, Jack Radix, Hezron, Dangling, Joanna Marie featuring Galaxy B, Denny Ranks featuring Jawiz, Ambalik, Christine Alicia, Yishka. Also the new sensations on the rhythm: Zeal, Danger Lee, Marquis Skelenar, Zachary. Available on all digital media outlets. The Juggling Rhythm. Get it, get it, get it.
Hi, this is Cara Manti, and you're listening to DJ Kevin Stew, and this is The Night Shift.
There are days when I am sitting all alone in my room. There are days when my mind's cloudy and I don't know what to do. All I could think of is what I needed to do. All I could think of, my mind's messed up and I don't need it no more. So lonely in my room. There are nights when I am lying all alone in my bed. There are nights when my heart's aching and I just needed to rest. All I could think of is what I needed to do. All I could think of, my mind's messed up and I don't need it no more. All
Welcome back to the show.
is what I needed to do. All I
This segment of the show is brought to you courtesy of JTMC Enterprises.
and I don't need it no more. So lonely in my room.
This song is called Lonely in My Room.
So lonely.
Artist goes by the name Kadia.
So lonely in my room.
So I got you with the music for in musical therapy. That song probably didn't help to keep you strong, but if you're lonely in your room right now, just know that you're with the best person you can be with, yourself. Nobody better than you at all. T.S. Eliot says, only by acceptance of the past can you alter it. That is the third affirmation. That's the third thing that we need to be aware of when looking to move forward from past hurts. Acceptance. Everyone encounters pain throughout their life. To sail through life without the contrasting emotional intensities would be to deny your personal growth. Character is formed under difficult circumstances, much like a diamond is formed under heat and pressure. Pain and suffering begins in childhood and continues throughout life. What people do with their inner wounds that stem from pain will determine their attitude and actions throughout life. Inner wounds trigger some to persecute themselves. They believe, I must deserve this, or I'll never be good enough. And yet it is a way of thinking that keeps them in a state of unworthiness. We can be very hard on ourselves since we fail to respect our past and its accompanying pain, and need not be viewed as scars any longer. You are not a wounded soul because of your emotional experiences. You become the wounded victim when you repeatedly use those wounds to deflect from attending to the real pain inside. By accepting the past rather than running away from it, you build a bridge which connects to your future self. The future self delights in bringing you the emotional resources you need to heal in this very moment, instead of bringing the past and the present baggage into the future. Imagine taking a train ride from one side of the country to another and insisting on stopping over in each city to pick up souvenirs. By the end of your journey, you won't only be broke, but the amount of energy required to haul the suitcases full of souvenirs would be physically taxing. So it is with holding on to your pain that it will be the same thing. Acceptance doesn't deny you the pain incurred. It shines a light on the cracks, so it integrates them back into the wholeness of your being. So it's not like you're ignoring it. And then you need to release. Barbara Taylor Bradford says, the past is always there. It lived inside you. It helped to make you who you were. But it had to be placed in perspective. The past could not dominate the future. Emotional pain of the past can be held within the body if left unattended. A number of doctors have documented how emotions can cause a host of physical symptoms in the body. Dr. John Sarno and Dr. Don Colbert have written extensively on how toxic emotions have the capacity to manifest in a physical pain. They outline how emotions seek expression through you, and if pushed down, will manifest in the body system. Releasing your emotional pain should be met with compassion. You are letting go of the pain and the hurt with an open and loving heart in order to cleanse and make peace with the past. The releasing process may be approached in a number of ways, and for some, working with a trained mental health professional might be the best decision, so as to have gentle release of the pain gradually over time. The skilled professional will deal with each situation individually because, some people may hold deeper emotional wounds than others, especially if there has been physical abuse. And others might turn to a spiritual leader within their community for healing. One's faith in the healing process is paramount and will guide the person to gradually let go and surrender their emotional pain over time. Mixed feelings may surface during the process as well as physical changes in the body, owing to the person purging themselves of the emotional burden carried all these years. Dr. Sarna describes healing back pain excuse me, in hundreds of his patients who conveyed the emotions of anger and anxiety. Similarly, Dr. Colbert outlined how unforgiveness and betrayal had caused heart disease in a number of his patients who were unwilling to forgive. As you release the emotional wounds of the past, a lightness fills your body and your mind. A weight is shifted off your shoulders. This is the weight of carrying the disempowering emotions all the time. Then there is forgiveness. The act of forgiveness is the act of returning to present time. And that's why when one has become a forgiving person and has managed to let go of the past, what they've really done is they've shifted their relationship with time. Carolyn Miss. Forgiveness entails forgiving oneself as well as the other person. We're co-creators of our life's experience. Acknowledging this now means no longer having to play victim to all that transpires in our life. There is power in knowing life need not happen to us rather than it flows through us. As we create empowering choices which are aligned with our spiritual truth, we trust life functions perfectly within the container of our universal wisdom. We have faith that each experience serves a purpose in our personal evolution. And once a lesson has been attained, we release and surrender it with openness to what will fill its place. We don't hold on to it. Your belief that you have performed bad actions in the past and the ensuing guilt is a flawed assumption which must be examined. A bad act does not define someone as being bad. Your natural state consists of wholeness and goodness, since you were not conceived in the image of evil. It is your thinking which discolors your perception that a bad act in the past may be punished accordingly. So, as you heal the inner conflict contained within the inaccurate belief, you see self-forgiveness is possible. And you need not persecute yourself any longer. You don't need to punish yourself more. And if you search deeper within, you will see that your intentions at the time were vested in self-preservation. That is one of the things that we mentioned earlier in the show, which causes problems. When people see you as selfish and see that as being negative, then you're a bad person. But we all strive to preserve self. So if we all do the same thing, then what makes it bad when we look at someone else doing it? Our actions arise from the human instinct to take care of oneself at all times. So your actions were imbued with self-love rather than harm to others. Self-forgiveness should be viewed as a process which gradually opens the door to healing and allows us to surrender to life enacting her will upon us and through us. We invite the healing energy of love which resides within us to permeate throughout our being. It is always there, but somehow we conceal it by perpetuating a false myth of guilt instead of our innocence. But we're taught to be guilty. It's interesting because we're taught, those of us that grew up with Christian beliefs and grew up with our first storybook being the Bible, we're taught that the first sin was Adam and Eve eating the apple. And as we grew older, we learned that the apple was actually a symbol. And then we were taught that it was a symbol of the tree of knowledge of good and evil. And just recently the question was asked, so why is it that the tree, the forbidden fruit was of the tree of knowledge? And that is exactly what happened when the question was asked. Initial silence. Because now here comes the thoughts. Wait a minute. The tree of knowledge was the forbidden tree? And some may say, boy, Stu, you're being blasphemous. Am I? Or am I doing what we were taught to do and ask questions? When you don't understand something, do you just accept whatever you're told, or do you ask questions? We're taught to ask questions, and that's what we do. In order to gain knowledge, we ask questions. But that is the problem. When we gain knowledge, then we attain a certain amount of power. From knowledge spews power. And it is a power that is oftentimes wanted to be held by some and not shared with others. When we have power over our emotions, when we have recognition of self, when we gain that knowledge that we are important and realize that we love ourselves and we should love ourselves first, then everything changes. How we see ourselves changes. How we treat ourselves change. And as a result, how we treat others and how we see others will also change. Because then we start loving unconditionally. Then we truly forgive. And it is not that we forgive others first, but we learn to forgive self so that we can move past the pain that we're dragging along into our future. This hurt that we're taking along with us so that we start to hurt others, because hurt people hurt people. And that's not what we're trying to do. We're not trying to hurt people. We're trying to build each other up. And if we're trying to build each other up, why are we going to be breaking ourselves down? That doesn't make sense. I'm looking for a song that I want to play for you guys. Oh, here we go. Yeah, I just found it. As we close out this section of Real Talk and we move into our musical therapy, let's do some of these things. Let's put some of these things into action. We need to commit. We need to acknowledge the pain. Commit to letting go. Acknowledge the pain and accept that you have to recognize the past. So accept it so that you can change it. Then let it go and forgive. It's an active process. This releasing of past hurts because we were actively holding on to it. So we can't expect to passively let go of it. It has to be an intentional thing. Who's on? Who's willing to take this ride? I am on it. Who's coming with me? Let's go ahead and make a difference. Let's change our lives, starting with ourselves, and see how we can change the lives in our communities. But we have to start with self. This is Novelty, a track called Tough Like a Diamond.
Tough like a diamond.
This is you, 942.
Strong like titanium. Tough like a diamond. Knock me down, but I won't stay down. Tough like a diamond. Strong like titanium. Knock me down, I get back on my feet. I'm strong like titanium. This is how I fight. This is how I fight. Flat footed on the ground. Flat footed on the ground. Can't keep me down. No, can't keep me down. Back broad, stand tall. Flat footed on the ground. Tough like a diamond. You know I'm strong like titanium. Tough like a diamond. Knock me down, but I won't stay down. Tough like a diamond. Strong like titanium. Knock me down, I get back on my feet. I'm strong like titanium.
want to say thanks to Sir Rockwell and the Wake Up and Live show for sponsoring the musical therapy segment. And that's where we are right now, the musical therapy segment, and that's where we're going to be for the next, 25 minutes as we close out the show for this week. Thank you guys for sticking around and being here with me going through this.
This is Gia Yee, and you're listening to The Night Shift with DJ Kevin Stew.
My song is a reminder, a verbal note to self. Melody set in motion to coax me through my doubt. A song that's sung for freedom from a life left up to chance. It's sung to set a good vibration that begs my soul to dance. So I'll forgive myself, I'll forgive you too. Give myself a break and give one to you. Leave the dust behind, look ahead and do the best I can, and to Jah and self be true. I don't know what I knew, a domesticated view, reacting from my vantage point, and didn't question who had the real true answer, had what I was seeking, until I looked to Jah, who had me in his keeping. So I'll forgive myself, I'll forgive you too. Give myself a break and give one to you.
This is the sound of GAE from the album Reggae Prescription.
Leave the dust behind, look ahead and
The track is called Note to Self.
do the best I can, and to Jah and self be true. Life's broken pieces scattered, fragmented from the start, can be put back together. It's a chosen kind of art. Though my heart's been broken 100 different ways, I know in Jah there's hope with each of his new days. So I'll forgive myself, I'll forgive you too. Give myself a break and give one to you. Leave the dust behind, look ahead and do the best I can, and to Jah and self be true. My song is a reminder on the fire down below. Where I know music just turns me on. I am on a fire, quench me, my dear. I'm in
This is Annette Brissett.
I am feeling good tonight.
the album Lift Up Your Head. I am feeling good tonight. 20 more minutes before I get out of here. .654, thank you for going with me on that journey. Thank you for joining me. Anybody else joining in? On this journey to letting go of the past and self-love. This journey to recovery. This journey into the future. Who's with me? Thank you, 942. Thank you, Julie. Now, going on this journey requires work. We all recognize that it's not going to be a walk in the park. So we need each other, and we're going to need to be supportive of each other as we embark on this journey. So I am there for you, and I hope you'll be there for me. But as we are there, just recognize that we are all hustlers going through this. This is a song here. I'm going to play this song here. I've been meaning to play this song all week. And I told one of my listeners, I have a song for you, just for you. This is it right here.
Yo, big respect for all of the jugglers, you know? Jugglers.
This is Phil Watkins.
Hustlers.
A track called Hustlers Anthem.
Got to find a way, got to make a way. Got to find a way, we got to make a way somewhere, somehow. Yeah. This one dedicated to all of the hustlers. All of the street side peddlers. You know, you got to stay alive. Got to create your means to survive. This one dedicated to all of the hustlers. All of the street.
Thank you very much, Marlon.
You know, you got to stay alive. Got to make your means.
Just as a reminder, you wanna catch Marlon just before my show on Monday. Marlon, the Real Rockers, reggae music editing extraordinaire.
That's the target, we want the life sweet like chocolate. Hear the nuts, man, he ma come down the street. Hear the nuts, girl, it a whistle so sweet. To where my ball of nuts, me say it's so unique. May have to grab a ital for eat. This one dedicated to all of the hustlers. All of the street side peddlers. You know, you got to stay alive. Got to make your means to survive. This one dedicated to all of the hustlers, all of the street side peddlers. You know, you got to stay alive, got to make your means to survive. We've got to fight this a struggle to get out our rubble. So we stay on the hustle, do we little juggle. So we not create no trouble, juggle we a juggle. No opportunities. This one dedicated to all of the hustlers, all of the street side peddlers. You know, you got to stay alive, got to create your means to survive. This one dedicated to all of the hustlers, all of the street side peddlers. You know, you got to stay alive, got to make your means to survive. No for juggle star, no for juggle bag juice, no for push cat, no for doctor pan bus. Before you get the herbs, the quota want the money first, cause them the things him nah go trust. Me never know down a town so nice, till me hear a brother speak with a squeaky voice. Me never move until him speak it twice. Me have to Snapchat, Instagram and tweet it twice. Him say, this a man no care no older.
Thank you very much, 654.
This one dedicated to all of the hustlers, all of the street side peddlers. You know, you got to stay alive, got to make your means to survive. This one dedicated to all of the hustlers, all of the street side peddlers. You know, you got to stay alive, got to make your means to survive.
Did up it up on the paycheck marker, but me push it for your little harder, the data. Stand firm, ever holding the order. Straight from Spain to Jamaica, hey sir. Always try to do better, be a go-getter. Keep job beside you throughout stormy weather. Take every measure, I am the treasure. You gotta feel this truth. I live for your love, I live for your love. Daily battles I rise above. Jah, I live for your love. Yeah, love, I live for your love. I live for your love. I see your blood, I'm thinking of. Jah, I live for your love. Plant a seed and the garden will grow. Militant is my tempo. Dereliction won't bring in the dough. Miss a song can I sing so non-stop. One mediocrity a straight to the top. Heart of it stronger when it thunderclap. Trod into Zion and me nah rally back. Never missing the fact that I live for your love. I live for your love. Daily battles I rise above. Jah, I live for your love. I live for your love. I live for your love. Ethiopia, I'm thinking of. Jah, I live for your love. Oh, hey. Emmanuel, I'm a daddy, so I don't fear the monarchy. All when them rise to tsunami, the rod of Moses apart. Emmanuel, I'm a daddy, so I don't fear the monarchy. All when them rise to tsunami, the rod of Moses apart. Lord, me say me not stop trying, 'cause Jah must hear my cry. All when them cut me supply, my soul will never die. Marcus said, I live for your love. I live for your love. Ethiopia, I'm thinking of. Jah, I live for your love. I live for your love. I live for your love. Ethiopia, I'm thinking of. Jah, I live for your love. Jah, I live for your love.
The sound of the real storm. track called Live For Your Love. I want to thank each and every one of you for your love. But of course, I encourage you to love yourselves even more. And in the process of doing that, to show some love for your neighbors. And your neighbors are not just the people that live in your development. Your community spreads far and wide. So you want to show love and look out for everybody that you come in contact with. Those that you pass on the bus, on the plane, on the boat, or the train, whether you walk, ride, or drive. Everybody that you pass and you encounter, these are members of your community. Do something good for one of them today, because you never know who's going to do something good for you tomorrow. And as always, I do encourage you to do something good. And to be good. But if you can't be good, just go ahead and be good at it.
Youngblood Records. Rise this morning, give thanks. This life's not guaranteed at all.
This is Phil Watkins with his brand new track today.
People never wake up this morning, never live to see today. Oh, the ones who never heed judge a warning, never live to see today. Violence leave a lot of families falling, never live to see today. A lot of innocent people falling, not live to see today. So if you live to see another day, I tell you don't forget to pray. Jah bless you with his mercy. Another chance to right the wrongs from the choices that you've made. Love will guide you upon your journey. Life is much better when you know what it's worth. Let every step count, let every move work. Here today, tomorrow, say your day and a leader. So set your mind and good living. With that you feel flirt. Waste your day seeking vanity. Flesh thing now go work. Walk fast from dirty liberty road that you no feeler. It best to wear a smile than to wear a dirty smirk. Remember we put Jaja first. A lot of people never wake up this morning, never live to see today. Oh, the ones who never heed Jaja warning, never live to see today.
Happy hump night to you, 836.
Falling, never live to see today. A lot of innocent people falling, now live to see today. Give thanks and praise, we're still fortunate. Work up.
Youngblood. Had to take this one from the top once more.
And give thanks. This life's not guaranteed at all.
This life is not guaranteed at all.
A lot of people never wake up this morning, never live to see today. Oh, the ones who never heed Jaja warning.
Those on the other side of the world who are already into Thursday,
Violence leave a lot of families falling, never live to
give thanks.
A lot of innocent people falling, now live to see today. So if you live to see another day, I tell you don't forget to pray. Jaja bless you with his mercy. Another chance to right the wrongs from the choices that you've made. Love will guide you upon your journey. Life is much better when you know what it's worth. Let every step count, let every move work. Here today, tomorrow, say your day and a leader. So set your mind and good living. With that you feel flirt. Waste your day seeking vanity. Flesh thing now go work. Walk fast from dirty liberty road that you no feeler. It best to wear a smile than to wear a dirty smirk. Remember we put Jaja first. A lot of people never wake up this morning, never live to see today. Oh, the ones who never heed Jaja warning, never live to see today. Violence leave a lot of families falling, never live to see today. A lot of innocent people falling, now live to see today.
5 minutes to the top of the hour, 5 minutes before I get out of here.
No matter what's going on,
this is Code Red Band from the album Unconditionally. This is Give Thanks and Praise.
give thanks and praise. No gas in the tank, give thanks and praise. No bread, no rice, give thanks and praise. You still have life, so give thanks and praise. If you woke up this morning to behold the light of day, you're alive, you're not lucky, you're highly blessed. Cause others fell asleep last night and thought they'd see today. They're not here, give thanks for the day. No money in the bank, give thanks and praise. No gas in the tank, give thanks and praise. No bread, no rice, give thanks and praise. You still have life, so give thanks and praise. So often we selfishly complain being vain, while our neighbor has nothing in his kitchen. Sitting at his window, smiling every evening, he's satisfied smelling your cooking. No money in the bank, give thanks and praise. No gas in the tank, give thanks and praise. No bread, no rice, give thanks and praise. You still have life, so give thanks and praise. If you wanna know how precious life is, ask yourself this simple question. If times are so hard and life is such a challenge, why do we rejoice to see a brand new day? No money in the bank, give thanks and praise. No gas in the tank, give thanks and praise.
Season it, pull it up, tell the DJ nice it up. Give me liquor jerky, now the mix, nobody spoil it up. Everybody want put them hand in the
This is how I bounce out and leave you tonight.
can make the dance hot.
Thank you once again. Catch you all on Monday.
Pull up the rhythm,
Remember, Sir Rockwell kicks it off tomorrow morning at 7
DJ roll it.
with the Wake Up and Live show. It's Super Thursday. You don't want to miss the shenanigans.
What you want? Pepper sauce, dumpling, chop the coconut. Everybody want put them hand in the
I'm back on Monday. Community and Finance right after Real Rockers with Marlon Burrell.
roll it. Pull up the rhythm and roll with it. Tell the DJ roll it.
Encouraging you all to have a two-day-full weekend, yeah? I'm out of here.
Coming again. DJ coming again. Season it, pull it up. Tell the DJ nice it up. Give me like a jerky, now the mix, nobody spoil it up. Everybody want put them hand in the pot, but only one sound can make the dance hot. Tell the DJ roll it. Pull up the rhythm and roll with it. Tell the DJ roll it. Pull up the rhythm and roll with it. Yeah. Come with your dance. Name it what you want. Pepper sauce, dumpling, chop the coconut. Everybody want put them hand in the pot, but only one sound can make the dance hot. Tell the DJ roll it. Pull up the rhythm and roll with it. Tell the DJ roll it. Pull up the rhythm and pull up the rhythm and pull up the rhythm and roll with it.
moment is priceless, consider the ability to share that moment. If you can video it, you can broadcast it. And Pulse E-Media Group has the tools you need. Weddings, birthdays, funerals, graduations, church services, parties, seminars, you name it. Pulse E-Media Group can provide you with a secure medium controlled by you to broadcast your event. Contact us at www.pulsemediagroup.com for more information. Pulse E-Media Group, when being in the moment is priceless.